It's been a while since I've done a custom mod project, but this is just a quick update on one of the first parts I'm working on. I got a couple of things that I have inbound, and I'll share them as I get them and appropriately. But basically, I got 2 dials from the Mokis, and I basically so far I had this in mind. I was just trying to swap. Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing so it doesn't cast a shadow as much. And this thing, anyways, I was trying to get a Marine Master dial in white, which is pretty much impossible, except for one place in the Philippines, I believe, was making it, but they stopped it. And yeah, so that kind of sucked. I kind of found out about late, and I was kind of off of doing projects for a while. But whatchamacallit, additionally, the ones that they had, the indexes were spread out more like this guy here, as a more traditional layout, where you would have the chapter ring around it, right, to have the indexes for the minutes or seconds. So I wanted one that had the markings on the dial itself, because I wanted to keep the chapter ring clean this time. And I kind of like that look a little bit more, actually. So this is the closest thing I could find, but actually this was basically a polar submariner dial, which had this triangle index up here, and this one was on this one, this sunburst gray. Both very nice dials, and they have really good lume. Let me just show you if I can real quickly. Sorry about the brightness, but hopefully, if I turn this off, you can kind of see where it's at. They're supposed to have C3 lume on both of them, so they should glow very reactive and very brightly for a decent amount of time. And as I understand it, Moki makes quality dials. So anyways, this is a long shot, but I figured, well, I like the fact that the Moki should have very good lume. It's C3, but it looks basically white in the daytime, as far as I can tell. It might have some residual greenish from that glow, but for the most part it is. But they didn't have exactly what I was looking for, so I thought, you know what? These are applied indices. Maybe the way they're stuck in the back, I could pop them off and exchange parts. Mainly I was looking to get this, I guess, chevron style, this blockier piece that was like Marine Master style, off of this one to here, and vice versa. I was figure just stick it on here and probably sell this, or maybe use it for another mod. And if needs be, the indexes as well, back over and just swap all the indices, just pop them out. And but I mainly wanted this part to differentiate it from a typical submariner dial. And I think it's all right. These are a little bit blockier, obviously. It's more rounded, it's a little bit bigger than what's on here, but I still think this looks relatively good and balanced. And you know what? It's something a little bit different. You got more maxi submariner style indices around with a Marine Master at the 12, but you got what looks like what might be a typical submariner style, but the plots are larger on out here, so you actually get more lume, and it's going to be very visible. So it's a decent compromise. In some ways, I wish this had a single date window instead of the date 8. But again, that makes it a little bit different than your typical Marine Master style, which only usually has a date window like right here on this guy. It has a nice frame around it too. I was thinking of maybe at least switching also the 9 and 6 index with this one. So maybe put the square ones back over here. But I decided not to because of the date window. This shape, if you can see it, matches this kind of more taller, it looks like a taller block, and it's blockier like this index. So I think it actually matches better than me putting the skinnier one over on here, and the skinnier one on this side kind of matches the general, at least height, and kind of, it's not as long, but the general length of it looks more related to this than it would if I put this one on here, if you know what I mean. Anyways, that's pretty much it. And the way you do these, and I showed this before in an earlier mod that I did with transplanting a Seiko, applied Seiko logo off of a dial and putting it onto one that didn't have it in my refer to my Night King mod, the first version, the one I started with. Basically, if you can see, there's these holes here, right, that hold the indexes in, and I suppose there's a little bit of glue around it after they applied it to make sure they don't fall out. But all you do is, I took this dental tool and just carefully push it out from behind, and then you look at the back and see how it's lifting off. And once it's coming off, I just took something that was non-abrasive, like this swab tip it's very tight knit, and this can help lift it off. And basically I just carefully centered it and try to fit the little tiny feet that are on the back into this hole on this one when I took this Marine Master 12 off of this dial, and vice versa, the triangle put onto here. And once you get it fitted, you just gently press it in, make sure it goes in, it doesn't skew or distort and twist or somehow, because you're not putting it in straight. You don't want it to go in crooked or have one side higher because you just didn't push it in right. So that was that, and luckily that's why I decided to go with the two Nomokis ones. The loom quality should be the same, and I figure from the same manufacturer, I figure it's likely that the way the indexes are applied are probably going to be, flip this over real quick, they should be basically the same. This one looks like maybe the holes are smaller, but they should be the same, I think. I think these outer indexes, the ones that aren't at the cardinal positions, the ones that are in between, the 8, they should have these thicker posts because they're a single round index. This goes right in, and these are still all basically rectangles or sticks, right? Even the one at the 12 is, it's longer than, it's not perfectly square. Anyways, these holes luckily also matched up with the small holes on this guy, same size and length, where they should, because they're from the same manufacturer. So anyways, carefully flip this over, and you see there's 2 pairs of feet, because you can use these still till you commit to a particular watch or movement crown position. You can position this as a 3 for 3 o'clock, or 4, or technically 3:45 really, and that's it. So anyways, once I get the rest of the stuff in, I will of course update this project. Until then, you might have a clue as to what I am doing by at least the title of this mod project in this video. So anyways, just wanted to give you an update, something different than the usual wristwatch checks and strap changes and all that. I'm behind on doing some reviews too, but there it is. All right, thanks, bye.